Today our topic is nothing but derivatives. So in stock commodity market we are discussing a concept called as derivatives. What is this derivative? A derivative is a financial contract that is derives from its value from the underlying asset. Now this is what is the meaning which we have read, but what is this actual term? It's a financial contract. Now what is this financial contract? A contract is nothing but which is enforceable by law. Now, it's a contract is an agreement between two parties, right? So generally we would have learned it in a term where we also read it in business regulations. But apart from that, we are going to see it. It's a contract. It's a financial contract which is derived. It derives its value. Now, value from what? From underlying assets. Next term is underlying assets. Now, what is this underlying assets called? What can be an underlying asset? It can be a share. It can also be a stock. It can be a stock market index. It can be the commodity. Or an interest. Or also currency. Now, if you just notice, we can call these all items, maybe shares, stock market index, commodity, interest rate, currency, all these comes under what? Under underlying asset. Okay, a commodity can consist like what kind of items? There are many commodities, right? We have studied in commodity market. As we have seen, we can consider gold, we can consider silver, we can consider many things in case of commodities like oil, right? Wheat, anything you can consider as a commodity. Okay, now we consider all these as what? Underlying asset. So on this underlying asset, if we are driving up the value, then we call it as what? Derivatives. I hope you all are clear with this point. Yes. Now, a buyer agrees to purchase the asset on a specific date and a specific price on an underlying asset. We call that as what? As a derivative, right? Fine. Now we do have we can say categories. Okay, so we do have two categories. One is called as exchange trade. Another one we can call it as over the counter. Fine. Now these are the two categories. Under what? Under derivatives. We have two categories. Fine. What is this exchange trade and what is this over the counter? An exchange trade, in simple if I have to say, which can be mostly considered with stock exchange. Okay. Over the counter is for all the commodities except stock exchange. Okay, so these basic things you have to remember. So based on exchange trade and over the counter. Fine. Now we have come to derivatives. We have known what is the two categories we have. Now we do also have something called as types. Okay. Types. Generally when we talk about types, we have future, then we have forward, Later we have option and then swap. Now my question is, what is this future contract? What is this? Generally we are coming up. Okay, we'll go for the first concept, that is future contract. Now future contract is nothing but, it is a contract which we can say it is an agreement between two parties to buy or sell an asset at certain time in the future at certain price. Now, okay, madam, I think this is somewhat a textbook kind of a term, or you can say a definition kind of a term. I'm not able to understand it. So can you please tell me with an example? Yes, of course. Now if you have to see here, we can make it out with an example. Now I will give you a good example because we are in KGF. So I would like to quote about Bemel. Okay, though now say example, Bemel shares, considering it is of rupees 40 per share. Okay, now what happened is there are two members, one is A, another one is B. Now what A does is, he has bought the share of 40 rupees of rupees 1000 each. I mean, he has bought 40 per share. He has bought 1000 shares generally. Okay, rupees 40. One share is rupees 40 and he has bought it for 1000 shares. He has bought 1000 shares generally. So what happens here is 40 into 1000 shares. How much? 40,000. Now totally how much shares does A have? A has all over it is 40,000 shares, right? Now what he does is, he is talking to B regarding this particular Bemel share. Then what B does is, suddenly he says, can you do me one thing? So A says, okay, fine. So what B does is, he said, we will just undergo a contract. You sell me the shares for whatever rate you have bought it for today. So what he did is, A signs a contract with whom? With B. B signs it even to A, stating what? Stating that A is going to sell the share which he had, 40,000 shares. Okay, he has 1000 shares of rupees 40 each. He's selling it. He's selling it to whom? He's selling it to B. And the thing is, they are buying and selling. Now the question comes what? About the date. So what A does is, A has bought it today. Now assuming it is 16th March 2020. Okay. But A is going to sell it when? He is going to sell it on, say, November 10th, 2020. Now whatever it is, they went into a contract stating that today he has bought this particular share of Bemel company, 1000 shares of rupees how much? 40 each. And you could see that he has bought it today. And what he did was, he signed it to B, stating what? He is going to sell it for the same, how much? Same 1000 shares for how much rupees? 40 rupees. Now here They have went into some contract called as what? Future contract. Here what happens is, we do have the Sensex rate which might increase or decrease. Okay, so today he bought it for 40 rupees. Maybe for that day, that is 10th of November 2020,